welcome to another episode of Gadgets and Gizmos. My name is Gaurav Preti and we got an amazing lineup for you in this week's episode. Trust me.
On the show this week, Netflix is here and we'll tell you what's all the buzz about. We have the new Hybrid Laptab from Micromax. We also have a pair of cool headphones. And there's a budget smartphone. All this and more on Gadgets and Gizmos.
So Netflix has been launched in India and people are rather curious about it. And Sahil, always the first one, has got the subscription done and he'll tell you what to do with it, how to go about it and whether it's worth your money or not. Over to you, Sahil Sina.
I have my jacket back on, which means winters have finally arrived. It also means that I have planted myself in my bedroom and have been snuggling inside a blanket. Obviously, I have been watching a lot of TV, an unusual amount of TV. It's not like Tata Sky has suddenly come up with a lot of original content. It's because a global phenomenon has launched in India. Of course, I'm talking about Netflix, which launched in India last week, and I've been binging on a lot of those TV shows and watching a lot of movies. So let me explain why the launch of Netflix in India is kind of a big deal. What's so good about Netflix? Well, there's a lot to love about Netflix. Arguably, after YouTube, Netflix is perhaps the most well-known streaming platform on the planet. It will provide you a wealth of content, be it TV shows, movies, and yes, also a lot of local content. In the case you have heard about shows like House of Cards, Orange is the New Black, and also Narcos, then you should know these shows were created by Netflix and they are exclusively available on its own platform. For 500 rupees per month, you can get a Netflix subscription that will work with SD TVs. But what we recommend is the one which costs around rupees 650 per month because it's going to work with two devices simultaneously and it's going to offer you an HD resolution, which basically means that you can use it with your LCD and LED TVs, which is what most people are going to use. In the case you own a 4K Ultra HD TV, then you should go for the one which costs 800 rupees per month, and that's also going to work with 4 devices simultaneously. Yes, that's kind of cool. Also, if you compare the prices with what they are in the US, then Netflix in India is kind of affordable. Also, the great thing about Netflix is that you can get access to your favorite TV shows and movies on any device of your liking, be it a phone, be it a tablet, be it a PC or Mac, or even the big screen. And more importantly, the streaming is really good in the case you have a good connection, relatively good connection, because you will not struggle with buffering issues because it automatically, dynamically adjusts the stream and the resolution accordingly, which is a really good thing. In the case you're planning to get a Netflix subscription out here in India, then you should realize that 93% of the content which is available to people in the US is not available out here. And yes, that includes a show like House of Cards. It's kind of a bummer. Also, if you plan on watching a lot of HD movies, then you should realize that one movie can consume as much as 3 GB of data, which is a lot, and especially when you consider there's no offline option and you can't download the movies. Netflix recommends around about 5 Mbps of broadband connectivity, which is excessive for a country like India. And if you compare the prices to a service like Hook, which was launched last year in India, then Netflix is kind of expensive because Hook starts at rupees 200 per month, while Netflix starts at rupees 500 per month, and that does not even give you access to HD content.
You see The Social Network? The Indian guy is a white guy. No, I read that he's one.
While Netflix is launched with a set of limitations in India, there are ways to subvert them. For instance, if you own a 6 or 7-year-old big screen television, you can still enjoy Netflix on it. Either you can buy a gadget like the Google Chromecast, which will beam all the content onto the big screen, or in the case you own a console like the PlayStation 4 or the Xbox One, you can use the Netflix app on them to use Netflix on the big screen, which is kind of great. Moreover, if you're like me and you're really desperate to watch House of Cards, then you can use an unofficial app called SmartFlix to access all the US content. Of course, it is an unofficial app which is still a beta, so you should be careful about using it, and it only works on a Mac or PC, which means you can't use it on a big screen and also on your mobile devices.
Well, next up we have a budget smartphone for you. It's from Zen. It's called the Cinemax 2. It's a big phone and it costs almost nothing. Take a look. Now you must be thinking, what is that guy doing? Is he looking for Jadoo? But he's not, because even if he is overcast condition, Jadoo cannot be found. But he is very smart, you know. This guy has decided that he will not watch any film. No film whatsoever, because a few months back he had gone to watch this self-proclaimed super hit picture film called Prem Ratan Dhan Payo, and all he got was headache. So I have taken a cue, and I like watching movies. I will still watch movies, but not in the cinema hall. I will watch all of them here in this smartphone. It is big and it costs only 4,199 rupees, which is nothing. Perfect. I think you should go for it too. And Paji, ki dekh rahe ho? Pamela Anderson unke thun aa rahi hai. Take this yaar. Watch film.
The Zen Cinemax 2, well, the company calls it Cinemax because it wants to give you a cinema experience in your smartphone because it's big. And besides the big screen, you also get a good looking phone here. I mean, if you like the Lumia design, then you should like this too. All plastic construction, and you also get a QHD display. Not the big Q, but the small Q. And it's good for watching videos. And that's all we did because nothing else really tempted us. Now the touch response is bad, the icons and colors look washed out, and there are a whole lot of preloaded apps that are available with this phone, but thankfully you can uninstall them.
Well, talking about the camera, you have a 5 megapixel rear camera and a 2 megapixel front facing camera. The rear camera is just about average, but the front facing camera is, well, it's not too good, but the point is it clicks your picture and you can see yourself.
Now talking about the performance, you get a 1.3 GHz quad-core processor. And there's 1 GB of RAM, 8 GB of internal storage that can be expanded to up to 32 GB. And there is nothing much to talk about the performance except that do not multitask too much and shut those apps if they're not required. Gaming is good till Temple Run, and you can do your web surfing and all those things. Talking about the battery, you have a 2900 mAh battery available, and you will have to charge this phone twice.
So the Zen Cinemax 2 priced at 4,199 rupees. I think it's a great value for money smartphone because for this price, you're getting a big phone, a QHD display, and it's called Cinemax because you can watch all the videos and all the movies right here. The performance is okay, don't push it. Battery life, well, you have to, as it is, charge phones twice these days. Camera was, Rohit was not happy, let me just say that. So I think it's a good deal. And Rohit, you want it? Now, a few months back, Rohit reviewed the Micromax ebook and he wasn't that pleased with it. He had some issues, and it turns out Micromax has finally paid heed to them, and they are out with their new laptop. It's called the Micromax Laptab, and Rohit is little impressed with it.
The Canvas Laptop series from Micromax aims to be an affordable hybrid. Now, as far-fetched as that sounds, there have been quite a lot of players in the affordable 2-in-1 device market. The Laptab 2 LT 777 continues on from the devilishly named LT 666, which was released just this year in July. And while that was aimed to be ultra budget-friendly at 13,999 rupees, the LT 777 throws a little more at you for a bit extra. The design is surprisingly effective, if not striking. It's encased in a rubbery plastic chassis that thankfully doesn't feel cheap to hold. It's sturdy and has a heft to it. The build quality itself is also not bad, it feels quite solid. The hinge mechanism that holds the tablet and the laptop together is also firm and performs efficiently. We have absolutely no complaints here. The LT777 houses 11.6-inch display. The screen itself is okay, we guess. It's par for the course at this price point and gets a pass barely. The innards house an Intel Atom processor with 2 GB of RAM and 32 GB of onboard storage. Now don't expect powerhouse performance here. Playing games is clearly not strong point, as notice multiple frame drops through our play sessions. While they are at it, don't expect this to be a multitasking king either. Barely switching from full screen to windowed mode on YouTube causes the device to stutter. Use this to surf the web, edit and write documents, and you should be fine. At a price point of 17,999 rupees, the Laptab LT777 is undoubtedly a good deal. Keep your expectation in check, and this can be your daily office machine with enough power to get through the day, but not enough to do anything else.
Next up, we have this cool pair of headphones. They're from a company called Jabra. Sound awesome and they cost a bomb. Here is Sahil with his review.
As I am known to be the resident audio geek on the show, companies keep sending me audio products in for review. But for some strange reason, US-based company Jabra thought I am a fitness freak because they've sent me these X2 Bluetooth earphones in for review, and they're meant for a fitness freak like my friend Bhaskar. Anyhow, I put these earphones through the paces and I've got some really fascinating facts to reveal. First of all, because these are fitness-oriented earphones, they are very lightweight. Secondly, they have this rubberized finish, which means they're sweat resistant, which is really important for a fitness earphone. More importantly, the sound is really good, be it the bass, the treble, or even the mid-range frequencies. So basically, from hip-hop to heavy metal music, you're completely sorted. And considering these are wireless Bluetooth earphones, the sound quality is really top class. And lastly, these earbuds, they fit perfectly in your ear, and overall you'll feel that you're in a musical cocoon. Now these are really convoluted earphones to wear, and I normally need someone's help to wear them. Oi, Bhaskar, where are you? Help me. Where is he? Oh, there he is. Okay. The second problem with these is that they need to be charged after every 8 hours, which is kind of limiting. And overall, the problem is these are really expensive at over 15,000 rupees. Overall, if you're a road runner like my friend out here, these are really good earphones considering they sound just awesome. But still, you have to think about these because they are really difficult to wear and they are kind of expensive considering they are not coming from a top tier brand. Think about it like he is.
It's time for our gaming segment now.
Reloading!
Helldivers is a top-down twin-stick shooter that features procedurally generated levels. What that means is each map in the game is randomly generated each time you play, and while there are a set amount of objectives that you can accomplish, the manner in which you go about them will change from game to game.
Reloading!
The first thing that hits you is the humor. Helldivers maintains an undeniably hilarious tone throughout its length.
Super Earth, our home. Prosperity, liberty, and democracy. Our way of
You play a pivotal part in the protection of Super Earth. And without spoiling anything, let's just say the game is outstandishly funny and trashy. It plays out like an homage to films like Starship Troopers. This also influences the art style of the game, as each of the planets you visit to exterminate the alien menace has a charm and personality of its own. The The game's enemies are also detailed and feature an assortment of baddies, all waiting to be torn down as you protect Super Earth from the scum of the galaxy. As with the most twin-stick shooters, you will be shooting first and asking questions later. Hit up a buddy and rummage through randomly generated maps that are just a blast to play through. Friendly fire is also turned on for the duration, so you may just end up feeding lead salad to a buddy. The game also plays it up for laughs, as every downed soldier is nothing more than an inconvenience. There are a few problems here though, as with most procedurally generated games, it can get a tad repetitive. While it's possible to play this game solo, it's nowhere near as fun as hooking up with a buddy on a ride through the galaxy. Grab a few friends and jump in, you won't be disappointed.
Oh. Virtual reality. Well, it's fascinating, but after 15 minutes, it really hurts your eyes. And 2016, they say, is going to be the year of VR. We'll finally see virtual reality coming into being with all sorts of apps and games that are being developed and should be launched this year.
Well, that's the LETV VR that we're testing right now. And LETV, it's a new smartphone company in town, would also be launching a massive smartphone called the LETV Max next week. The phone has a 6.3-inch screen with 1440 by 2560 pixel of resolution. It's also powered by a Snapdragon 810 processor along with 4 GB of RAM. Phone looks good, but we'll tell you more about it next week. And in the other news, Xiaomi has slashed the price of its flagship and the only tablet in India, Mi Pad. The device, which was earlier selling at 12,999 rupees, would be available for 10,999 only. The Mi Pad is powered by NVIDIA Tegra K1 processor, has a 7.9-inch screen, 2 GB of RAM, 16 GB internal storage and 6,700 mAh battery. It also has a fairly well-made and well-designed plastic body. And another Chinese company, Coolpad, has launched a mini variant of its Note 3 called the Note 3 Lite, which is priced at 6,999 rupees. The USP is a fingerprint sensor and 3 gigs of RAM. And the know-it-all website, Wikipedia, the online crowdsourced encyclopedia, turns 15 this week. The free site was launched on January 15, 2001 by Jimmy Wales and Larry Sanger. It was meant as a place where anyone with knowledge of topic could write it up and make it available to the world without ads or traditional gatekeepers. The website has evolved a lot over these 15 years and has received a new round of cash, which would hopefully keep it going for another 15 years.
Alright, with that, it's a wrap. We hope you enjoyed watching the episode, and we'll be back next week with more of Gadgets and Gizmos.